This will be a brief look at the similarities between the two works of two great directors, Martin Scorsese's After Hours and Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. Now, I personally dislike going over information I've previously spoken about, so I will say this. If you want more information about Kubrick, which I believe is unique, then I would recommend that you watch my videos on Twin Peaks, Variations on a Theme by Kubrick, and Kubrick interpreted 2001: A Space Odyssey as Masonic Allegory. I did want to say a few words before beginning, and that is that this video is mainly an exploration into the connection between After Hours and Eyes Wide Shut. But there is nothing sinister implicated in this connection. I am fairly confident that Kubrick saw After Hours, and I believe it did play a big part in influencing the direction he would take in making Eyes Wide Shut. All you have to do is look at almost every film Kubrick made, which is based on a previous work. A Clockwork Orange, Full Metal Jacket, The Shining, Barry Lyndon, Lolita, (2001), Dr. Strangelove, In every case, the time period and setting are the same as the source material. The only exception is Eyes Wide Shut. The book Traumnovelle, from which Eyes Wide Shut is based, takes place in early 20th century Vienna, yet Eyes Wide Shut takes place in 1990s New York City. We know from an interview with Michel Cement, shortly given after A Clockwork Orange, that Kubrick wanted to make Traumnovelle, the book Eyes Wide Shut is based on, into a film. Kubrick says, "There is also a novel by Arthur Schnitzler, Rhapsody, a Dream Novel, which I intend to do, but on which I have not yet started to work. It is a difficult book to describe. What good book isn't?" What does this mean? Well, it tells us that Kubrick really wanted to make Traumnovelle into a film since the early 1970s. As to why I changed the time and place of early 20th century Vienna, I believe is that Kubrick was influenced by After Hours. Since Kubrick was from New York, but in self-imposed exile in England, something about Scorsese's film really struck a chord. Here are the similarities. Both start and end with the same music. After Hours starts and ends with Mozart's Symphony in D major, Kerschel 95. Eyes Wide Shut starts and ends with Shostakovich's Jazz Suite Waltz No. 2.
Fuck.
After Hours has a piece by Mozart, the aforementioned Kerschel 95. Eyes Wide Shut has a piece by Mozart, the Requiem, Rex Tremendi. After Hours has 3 syllables. Eyes Wide Shut has 3 syllables. In After Hours, the protagonist journeys through New York City on a dangerous late-night sexual odyssey.
No hurry.
In Eyes Wide Shut, the protagonist journeys through New York City on a dangerous late-night sexual odyssey. The names are similar. In After Hours, Paul Hackett is 3 syllables, first name ends with an L, and the last name starts with an H.
Hi, this is Paul Hackett. We met earlier tonight.
In Eyes Wide Shut, Bill Harford, 3 syllables, first name ends with an L, and last name starts with an H.
Bill Harford, how the hell are you, buddy?
And After Hours, the protagonist has a voyeuristic view of people in the act of sex. In Eyes Wide Shut, the protagonist has a voyeuristic view of people in the act of sex. After hours, pot smoking triggers angry behavior.
What type of pot is this?
It's Colombian.
That's a lie.
That's what the guy who sold to me said it was.
Well, the guy who sold it to you is a liar. So are you. That's shit.
Don't get upset. I just won't buy it from him anymore.
That's horse shit.
In Eyes Wide Shut, pot smoking triggers angry behavior. In After Hours, we have mutual attraction that goes unfulfilled. In Eyes Wide Shut, we have a mutual attraction that goes unfulfilled. In After Hours, Hackett gets seduced by girl's roommate.
There's no few basic moves.
Just make it hurt and you're on the right track. That's all I know.
In Eyes Wide Shut, Harford gets seduced by girl's roommate.
But I don't know.
In After Hours, a change of clothes happens before the adventure begins.
My shoulders get pretty sore.
Want a massage?
In Eyes Wide Shut, there's a change of clothes before the adventure begins. In After Hours, a gay mob threatens Hackett.
Which, who cares? I mean, the films are going. What are you doing?
I know. It's that guy again. Hey!
Hey, maybe that's him. Anyways.
In Eyes Wide Shut, an anti-gay mob threatens Harford.
Merry Christmas, Mary. My brothers are back there. Prime cut of meat, baby. You want to take a ride in this bus, Kelly, you stupid faggot? It's like we got a mood buncher going on here, huh? Standing so close.
In After Hours, we have homosexual flirting between two men.
I have never done this with a man before, and I'm a little bit nervous.
In Eyes Wide Shut, we have homosexual flirting between two men.
He came in this morning about 4:30 a.m. with two men. Big guys. I mean, they were very well dressed and very well spoken, but they weren't the kind of people you'd like to fool around with, if you know what I mean.
After Hours, Cabs and Cash.
Excuse me, I just...
Eyes Wide Shut, Cabs and Cash.
80? I promised you $50 over the meter, right? I'll make that 100.
In After Hours, Hackett loses $20.
Look, I had $20, and now...
In Eyes Wide Shut, Harford loses a $25 mask. In After Hours, there is a girl who has serious medical issues. In Eyes Wide Shut, we have a girl who has serious medical issues. In After Hours, a girl ODs in her bedroom. In Eyes Wide Shut, a girl ODs in the bathroom. After Hours, Hackett is with a dead girl. Eyes Wide Shut, Harford is with a dead girl. In After Hours, Hackett feels responsible for the girl's death.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
Can you say? After all, it wasn't your fault.
In Eyes Wide Shut, Harford feels responsible for the girl's death. After Hours, Kiki is a Soho artist. In Eyes Wide Shut, Harford's wife used to manage an art gallery in Soho. After Hours, Hackett seeks refuge in a restaurant to avoid mob. Eyes Wide Shut, Harford seeks refuge in a restaurant to avoid creepy bald guy.
Just have, cappuccino, please.
I'll bring it over to you.
After Hours, news article about death in the area.
Police are having difficulty identifying the man because no form of ID was found on his shredded clothing.
Shredded?
Eyes Wide Shut, news article about a death in the area. After Hours, Hackett has slipped a message. Eyes Wide Shut, Harford has slipped a message. After Hours, interaction with Italian-looking man in booth. Eyes Wide Shut, interaction with Italian-looking man in booth. After Hours, Hackett is invited to a girl's apartment, but he has to leave. Eyes Wide Shut, Harford is invited to a girl's apartment, but he has to leave. In After Hours, Hackett is rescued by a mysterious woman. In Eyes Wide Shut, Harford is rescued by a mysterious woman.
Remove your clothes, or would you like us to do it for you?
Stop! Let him go. Take me. I am ready to redeem him.
In both movies, they are looking for a character named Peter, but they never contact this individual. After Hours, Hackett takes a leak. Eyes Wide Shut, Alice takes a leak. After Hours, Marcy talks about her husband, who is a Wizard of Oz freak who would always yell, "Surrender, Dorothy." Eyes Wide Shut, two girls tell Harford they will take him where the rainbow ends. Then at the costumer's shop, which is called Rainbow, there is a sign that says "Under the Rainbow." In The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy sings "Somewhere Over the Rainbow." In After Hours, music is always playing in the background, which the characters can hear, and which is telling the same story they're experiencing, diegetic. One example is when Hackett walks out of the restroom, and the song lyric is "We Belong Together." Another reference is with The Mysterious Woman. The song that's playing says, "Is that all there is?"
Flirt with me? You share your cigarette with me?
But there is also music which plays which is non-diegetic, the characters can't hear. In Eyes Wide Shut, an example of diegetic music is the music that plays "I'm in the Mood for Love."
Alice, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. How good to see both of you. Thanks so much for coming.
We wouldn't have seen you.
Great to see you. Alice.
When Harford is with Domino, the music that plays is a song that's called "I've Got It Bad and That Ain't Good," which is particularly interesting because she actually has it bad. She's got HIV. And of course we have this ominous theme that plays, which surrounds Bill Harford. Obviously he can't hear it. It's the non-diegetic music. After Hours, gatekeeper at Club Berlin, the name of a German city, will let him in with the invitation. In Eyes Wide Shut, the gatekeepers at Somerton require the password Fidelio, which is an opera by Beethoven, a German composer. In After Hours, the last word spoken is forever, but the last seen word is Paul, which is 4 letters. In Eyes Wide Shut, many words are repeated right after the other throughout Eyes Wide Shut. Harford will repeat it. This happens from beginning to the end. However, only one word is repeated 3 times sequentially, and that is the word forever, right at the ending of the film. However, the last word is fuck, which is 4 letters.